Hi everyone, welcome back to Scrapping Scotland. Guys, I just wanted to share this little teardown with you. Now, I've already actually torn it down, but the reason I'm doing a video on this is I actually wanted to share the components with you because I was taken by quite a bit of surprise when I took this one apart. So this is a DVD player. As you can see, it's a DVD CD receiver and the model is XV-DV222 and it's a Pioneer. So what's so special about this? Well, I've taken dozens and probably more than dozens of DVD players apart and they aren't that interesting. In fact, there's a couple of videos on my channel where I've taken DVD players apart or even Blu-ray players and you don't get that much out of them. There's maybe a couple of small boards and a disk drive. There's not a lot, but this one, guys, this one took me by surprise. Now firstly, this steel plate is quite heavy. It's heavier than normal DVD players. They're usually quite light steel. This one is quite heavy. Now on the back of this there is a board which is pretty standard. I have little buttons attached to this board and it's, like I say, it's pretty standard. There's not a lot there, okay? Nothing really to write home about. And as mentioned, there's your disk drive. Okay, disk drives do have a nice board. Okay, but I will add them to all those disk drives over there in the corner and we'll scrap that out a little bit later when we have time to do our disk drives. So again, what's so special about this one? Well guys, I was really surprised at the components I found in this and the boards that was inside it. So let's have a look at the first board. And here it is. Okay, again, not that exciting. There's a little transformer there. There is a relay switch there. There's a bridge attached to a little bit of aluminium, couple of bridges there, and more relay switches here. There's a couple of nice reels of copper, as you can see. Okay, so that's a nice little board. You know, when I go for these boards, I'm trying to get the copper off it, and there's copper in there, all the A3, there's copper there, there's copper there, there's copper there, and there's copper in there, okay? And there's actually copper inside those bridges as well, okay? The aluminium capacitors, not too fussed about. Some people take them off and keep them as dirty aluminium. So that's board number one, and that's pretty standard, okay? Again, if you're doing DVD players a lot, you'll find maybe one board like this and maybe one other board inside. Okay, so that's the first board. We'll put that there. Secondly, look at the size of that aluminium heatsink that's attached to the fan. Okay, that's a huge heatsink that I just didn't expect to be inside that DVD player. Okay, again, we'll have MOSFETs, as you can see, attached to the heatsink. There is a big piece here, looks like a big bridge or MOSFET, but it isn't. Inside there is a piece of aluminium, and there is actually little pieces of copper attached to that as well. And there's a little board inside as well. Okay, not had the chance to get that out, but as you can see, that's a lovely big heatsink that I didn't expect to see when I opened that up. That's board number two. Then we've got board number three. Again, I've not taken this really apart yet, but there's a little board in there, a little bit of value, and a pretty standard power board with not a lot of stuff on it. Okay, but that's the third board, and actually the one that's attached to the facing as well makes that 4 boards in total. What really surprised me was this. Check the size of that transformer that was inside it. And as you can see, or can you see? Let's see, there it is. Inside there is a lovely big bit of copper. And this is nice and heavy. So let's see what this weighs. Okay guys, I've teared the scales out as I'm on the floor because it's the flattest surface. And let's have a look at what it weighs. So it weighs over 2.5 kilos, 2,528.6 grams. In pounds, that's £5, 9.2 ounces. That's a lovely transformer to get out of a DVD player, don't you think? Okay, so we've got the bottom steel plate off and the band that secured it. Just steel. We've got this nice little copper band that went all the way around it, and I'll add that into the copper once I weigh it. And now, as you can see, we've got a transformer and it's welded all the way along on both sides, okay? But as you can see, they're not interlinked, so we can break this weld and then hopefully we can pull our copper out. So those welds were super easy to break. I actually just held it in my hand and smacked it on the side with a hammer, and as you can see, it just falls off. Okay, time to try and get that copper out. Okay, as you can see, the E's of the I's and E's from the transformer are still sitting in the vise, and here is our little copper block. Okay, now we're going to clean this up. Okay guys, that's it out of all the plastic. As you can see, there's still a little bit of plastic tape on this, and I will clean that up, but it's not going to make a difference to the weight, so I'm going to weigh it with that tape on it. I'll actually have to unwind this because there's probably a couple of layers of tape inside this as well, as you can probably see. So I will have to unwind that to get that tape out completely. The inner piece of it, there's no tape at all, and as you can see, that's nice and clean. Okay, so now I'm going to weigh it guys and see what we got. Okay, so that's us on grams. Put the first bit on. And that weighs 211.6 grams. Add the second bit. And that weighs 402.7 grams. Which is 14.2 ounces. That's pretty good guys. You know, like I say, wasn't expecting to get a big transformer out of a DVD player. That's a great return. And just to add to our little bit of copper, I'll have to put on the copper band that we got as well. And that weighs 11.3 grams. Which is 0.4 of an ounce. So guys, the moral of the story for me there is never judge a book by its cover. I didn't expect to get all of that out of a DVD player, and actually it was a fantastic thing to scrap out. So if you're used to scrapping something and you think you're not going to get much out of it, don't let that stop you scrapping something similar in the future, because you never know, there might be a lovely surprise inside, and I certainly got one there. I didn't do the scratch test on that guys to make sure it was copper. Now anyone that knows and sees the weight will know that's copper. I don't have to do the scrap test, that's absolutely copper. Okay, but you know, for your peace of mind, you can do the scratch test and make sure it is copper. If it was aluminium, it'd have been a lot lighter than that, and it's not, it's copper. So a great little item to scrap out. And as I say, you know, never judge a book by its cover. Make sure you know what you're scrapping and check those items, and you never know, you know, you could come up with a little gem like I've got there. So thanks for watching guys. We are very close guys to the 2,000 subscribers, so if you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, then you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, and please do like the video as well, that helps it out a lot. For now, thank you again for watching Scrapping Scotland, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.